Have you ever felt stuck in your routine, overwhelmed by uncertainty, or struggled with unexpected shifts? Change is constant, and the ability to adapt is crucial. Through this Vinyasa flow, we'll not only work on increasing our physical flexibility, but also our mental resilience. This practice will help you navigate life's twists and turns with grace, grounding yourself in the present moment while remaining open to whatever comes your way. We'll cultivate a body awareness that will allow you to readjust to meet your current needs, teaching you to move fluidly from one movement to the next. And by the end of this session, you'll feel more connected to yourself and more capable of handling the changes life throws your way. So roll out your mat, find your breath, and let's discover the power of adaptability and embrace the beauty of change. Find a comfortable position with your spine straight and your hands resting gently on your knees or in your lap. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths, inhaling deeply through your nose and exhaling slowly through your mouth. As you settle into your breath, allow yourself to arrive fully in this moment. Now bring to mind a situation in your life where you're experiencing change or uncertainty. It might be something big or small, recent or ongoing. As you hold this sensation in your awareness, notice any feelings or thoughts that arise. Allow yourself to feel them without judgment, simply observing their presence. Imagine that you're standing in front of a flowing river. This river represents the flow of life, constantly moving and changing. Visualize yourself stepping into that river, feeling the cool water around your feet. As you stand in the river, notice how the water adapts to the contours of your body, flowing around you effortlessly. This is a reminder of your own capacity to adapt and flow with life's changes. As you continue to breathe, visualize yourself moving with the current of the river. See how you can navigate through the flow, sometimes with ease, sometimes with effort, but always moving forward. Trust in your ability to adapt and find your way. And if you encounter resistance or obstacles in your visualization, imagine yourself gently and gracefully flowing around them. Remind yourself that, just like water, you have the ability to find new paths and new solutions. When you're ready, open your eyes and let's begin. Bring your chin down to your chest and we'll begin to make head circles in one direction. Inhale as the head goes back and around. Exhale as the head comes forward. Go at your own pace and feel free to stop for a moment in any place that feels sticky. Switch directions, continuing to marry the breath with the movement as we warm up the neck muscles. Bring the head up, neck long, spine nice and tall. And now we'll get into the shoulders, bringing them up on an inhale, bringing them back down and around on the exhale. As you push the shoulders down, feel them connect through the lat muscles. Melting the shoulders down the back, reach both arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers and stretch up, opening up the chest. Inhale, release the bind, and on an exhale, we'll go into a gentle twist to one side And inhale, bring both arms back up overhead. Exhale, gentle twist to the other side. Continue for a few breaths at your own pace. Inhaling, bringing the arms up. Exhaling into the twist. Warming up the spine for our practice today. Now, keeping one hand on the opposite knee, we'll reach the other arm up and over for a side stretch. Spiral the chest up towards the ceiling. Stay rooted down through both hips. Coming back through center, we'll repeat that on the other side. You can keep your gaze either down at the mat, straight ahead of you, or up. Return through center and we'll make our way to our hands and knees in a tabletop position. Make sure the hips are stacked over the knees, shoulders stacked over the wrists. Spread the fingers wide to ground down through the palms. On an inhale, lift the chest, arch the back for cow pose. Exhale, round the spine, tucking the chin to the chest, cat pose. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, open the back. Continue through cat-cow at your own pace, matching the movement with the breath. The next time you're in cat pose, bring the big toes to touch, knees out wide, sink the hips back for child's pose. Now, keeping the legs in the same position, bring yourself back up to tabletop, and we'll go into a cat-cow-child flow. Inhale, lift the chest for cow. Exhale, round the spine for cat, and continue the hips back into child's pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat, sinking into child. Continue at your own pace for a few breaths. When you're ready, make your way down to your belly. Rest your forearms on the mat on either side of you. Push through the palms and the forearms to lift the chest up into a sphinx pose. Engage the quads and glutes to take some pressure off the lower back, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. Lower down and push yourself back up into a tabletop position. Let's stretch out the wrists a little by gently, slowly rocking forward and back. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back for our first downward dog of today. Spread the fingers wide to ground down through the palms. Find length in the spine. Option to pedal out the feet, reaching one heel at a time down towards the earth. Find a moment of stillness. And slowly make your way to the top of the mat into a standing forward fold. Feet hip width apart, option to clasp opposite elbow, and we'll hang out here for a moment, feeling that stretch in the hamstring. Always option to bend the knees. On an inhale, bring the hands to the shins or the quads, reaching the spine long like you're looking into a pool of water for halfway lift. Exhale, back down to a standing forward fold. On an inhale, bend your knees, root down through your legs and feet to come up to standing, reaching the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring your arms by your sides, mountain pose. Take a breath here as we prepare for sun salutations. We'll do 3 rounds. The first round will go nice and slow with modifications. Then you choose how you want to do the next 2 rounds. Here we go. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, down to a standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, planting the hands, bringing both feet back into a plank position. Now option to lower both knees to the mat. And on an inhale, we'll bring the weight forward. Exhale, lower to the belly. Inhale, lift up the chest to a cobra, pushing through the palms, engaging the triceps. And on an exhale, we'll tuck the toes, lifting the hips up and back for downward facing dog. On an inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat into a standing forward fold. Inhale, root through the feet, coming up to standing, arms overhead. Exhale, hands by your side, mountain pose. Take a breath. Two more rounds. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, bring the feet back for plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga or lower to the belly. Inhale, come up for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat for standing forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead, come to standing. Exhale, mountain pose. Take another breath. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, standing forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms, coming back to plank. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, chaturanga or lower to the belly. Inhale for cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat for standing forward fold. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead for standing. Exhale, mountain pose. Take a few breaths here to notice how your body is feeling. Is your blood pumping? Is your heart racing? Are you feeling warm? And on an inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, sink the hips back and down, bringing the weight into the heels for chair pose. Engage the glutes and quads and keep the chest lifted. As you lift up out of chair pose, shift the weight to the right leg, lifting the left knee up towards the chest. And now slowly, with control, reach that left leg back, placing it on the mat, toes at a 45-degree angle for Warrior 1. Keep both hips square to the front of the mat. Now transitioning to Warrior 2, let's adjust our base by bringing the left foot back a little bit, turning the toes towards the side of the mat and opening the arms out wide, palms facing down. Bend into the right leg, not allowing the knee to go past the ankle, and ground down through all four corners of both feet. Bring the left hand down to the left thigh and reach the right arm up and over for Peaceful Warrior. Coming through Warrior 2, bring the right forearm to the top of the right thigh, reaching the left arm up and over for extended side angle. Option to stay here, or if you're up for a little challenge today, engage the core and bring the right arm up parallel to the left arm. Now swivel the back toes towards the front of the mat and either lift the torso up for a high lunge or push from the back foot, bringing all the weight into the right leg, left leg and torso parallel to the mat for Warrior 3. Create one long line from your fingertips through the heel of your left leg. Keep a micro bend in the standing leg and find your balance. Option to stay here or to take it a step further, open up the left hip, bringing the right hand down to the mat or to a block, left arm up for a half moon. I definitely needed a block here. See if you can spiral your chest up towards the ceiling. Find your balance, keep your muscles engaged, and embrace the shakes. And if you fall, that is okay. I definitely fell on the other side. Now slowly make your way back through a Warrior 3, placing the right foot on the ground, lifting the torso. We'll all meet in a high lunge. Bring both hands down to the mat, framing the front foot, stepping it back into a plank for a Vinyasa flow. Inhale, shift the weight forward. Exhale, Chaturanga or lower to the belly. Inhale, Cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look to the top of the mat. Exhale, make your way to the top of the mat into a standing forward fold. Inhale, come to standing, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhale, arms by your side, mountain pose. Take a moment to reflect on your practice before we repeat everything on the other side. On an inhale, bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, sink the hips back, weight into the heels, chair pose, keeping that chest lifted and shoulders down. Coming out of chair pose, shift the weight to the left leg, bringing the right knee up towards the chest. Root down through the left foot, lift up through the chest, finding that balance in the opposition. And then slowly, with control, reach the right leg back, placing the foot on the mat at a 45-degree angle, arms overhead, bending into the front leg for Warrior 1. Pull the left hip back while pushing the right hip forward to keep the hip square. Option to hop the back leg in or out a little bit, adjusting to what feels good to you, where you find the most stability as we adapt through these transitions and to the change. Now open up both hips to the side of the mat, perhaps hopping the right leg back to create more space, arms out to the side for Warrior 2. Again, make any adjustments you need to feel good in this moment. And remember to keep your core and quads engaged while you ground down through all four corners of your feet while lifting the chest for stability. Now bring the right arm down to your right thigh, reaching your left arm up and over for a stretch in the side body, Peaceful Warrior. Option to look up at the ceiling or down to the mat. Coming back through Warrior 2, bring the left forearm to the top of the left thigh, reaching the right arm up and over for extended side angle. Again, option to stay here for an extra little challenge. Bring the left arm up parallel to the right arm. Now swivel the right toes towards the front of the mat and bring the torso up into a high lunge, or keeping the torso where it is, push from the back foot, bringing all the weight into the left foot for Warrior 3. Make any adjustments needed to find your balance. Stay here or join me in half moon, opening up the hip, bringing the left hand to a floor or a block, or just fall down like I did and get back up and shake it off and try again. My left leg is definitely weaker than my right leg. So anyway, open up the right hip, bringing the left hand to the floor or block, reaching the right arm up towards the ceiling, spiraling up the chest for half moon. Close your hips back down towards the mat, returning to Warrior 3, and with control, stepping the right leg back down to the mat, lifting the torso up, arms overhead for high lunge. Bring both hands down to the mat to frame the front foot, an option to go straight to down dog or flow with me. Inhale, shift the weight forward, exhale, lower to the belly or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Lower both knees to the mat and we'll take a little rest in child's pose. Reflect on what might be coming up for you in your practice today. And when you're ready, bring yourself up to a tabletop position. Make sure the shoulders are stacked over the wrists, spread the fingers wide, ground through the palms, and lift up the back legs to a plank. Engage your core to keep the back from arching and the hips from sinking down, and reach back through the heels while lengthening the spine for stability. Option to bring the knees down to the mat. Adjust and adapt to what is most nourishing to your body in this moment. Now let's bring it down to a forearm plank. Knees can stay on the mat for extra support. Hold and embrace the shakes, those stabilizing muscles working to support you. Find length in the spine, lift the hips up and back for dolphin pose. And again, adjust to make this pose feel supportive to you. And on an inhale, come back to forearm plank and we'll flow here. Exhale, dolphin, inhale, plank. Exhale, dolphin, inhale, plank, and exhale, dolphin. Bring the weight over to the right arm, bringing the right knee down to the earth, reaching the left arm up for a modified side plank. Option to adjust, straightening both legs, stacking the feet for a full forearm side plank. Pick up through the right oblique to avoid the hips sinking. Bring your left forearm back down to the mat, back into a forearm plank. And let's flow again. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, plank. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, plank. Exhale to dolphin. Bring all the weight over to the left arm this time, bringing the left knee to the ground, right arm up or on the hip, or option to straighten both legs, stacking the feet for a side plank on the forearm. Engage your left obliques now to keep the hips off the ground and spiral the chest open. Are you shaking? Because I sure am. But keep on smiling, we'll get through this together. Bring the right arm down to the mat, back to a forearm plank, and let's flow one more time. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, dolphin. Inhale, forearm plank. Exhale, dolphin. Hold. Inhale, forearm plank. Hold, hold, hold. Engage your core. And release the knees. Sink the hips back for a child's pose. Very well deserved. So good. Take a moment to rest and recover as we prepare to cool down. Bring yourself up to a tabletop position. Bring the right leg forward, bringing the shin parallel to the top of the mat. If that feels uncomfortable, adjust and lessen the angle. Then extend the left leg back behind you for pigeon pose. Press the left hip down towards the mat to square the hips and avoid leaning to one side. Keep the chest lifted, shoulders melting down the back in a slight back bend, and make sure to keep the navel tucked in and up to protect the lower back. You can also choose to use a pillow or a blanket under your hips for some extra support. Option to fold forward into sleeping pigeon with forearms crossed or arms extended. I personally prefer to do pigeon pose upright because I like the stretch I feel across the front of the left hip flexor. Feel free to adjust and find any movement that feels good to you here. Slowly, gently come out of the stretch on this side, and we'll bring the right leg back to a tabletop position, and we'll repeat on the other side. Bring the left foot forward this time, coming to whatever angle feels best for you, and extend the right leg long behind you for pigeon pose. Option to stay elevated or option to fold forward. Let's breathe and enjoy the stretch on this side. Now we'll ease the left foot back into a tabletop position. And though it wasn't originally in my sequence, I really felt my abs needed a good stretch. So lower to the belly and come up to a full cobra, stretching out the abs, maybe looking over one shoulder and the other. And coming back through tabletop, find a seat on the mat with your legs out in front of you. Reach the arms up overhead, hinge at the hips, folding forward into a seated forward fold. Breathe into that stretch in the hamstrings, or option to bend the knees to feel more of a stretch in the back. Adapt to what your body needs in this moment. Slowly release out of the stretch and make your way onto your back. Bring your knees into your chest and give them a big hug. Release the head back down to the mat and maybe make some circles with your legs to release any remaining tension out of the lower back. Bring the arms to either side of you, either extended or in cactus, and bring both legs over to one side for supine twist. Keep both shoulder blades grounded into the mat, gaze up at the ceiling or in opposition to your legs. Bring the legs through center and allow them to fall on the other side for supine twist. Bring the knees back through center, give them one last squeeze. Lie down comfortably on your back with your legs extended and your arms resting by your sides, palms facing up. Allow your feet to fall naturally outward and close your eyes for Shavasana. Take a deep breath in through your nose and exhale completely through your mouth, letting go of any tension you may be holding. Repeat this a few times, each breath helping you to relax more deeply into the mat. And as you settle into stillness, bring your attention to the natural rhythm of your breath. Feel the gentle rise and fall of your belly with each inhale and exhale. Allow your body to become heavy, fully supported by the earth beneath you. And as you continue to breathe, repeat silently to yourself, I am adaptable. I embrace change. With each repetition, feel a sense of ease and acceptance growing within you. Allow this affirmation to sink deeply into your subconscious, reinforcing your natural ability to navigate life's transitions with grace and ease. And this is where I will leave you. Thank you so much for sharing your time and energy with me today. If you enjoyed this practice, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below how this practice felt for you today. Anything at all that comes to mind, I would love to hear from you and connect with you. Subscribe for more tips, tricks, yoga practices, and meditations to help guide you through the zodiac seasons, working on different aspects of your life, so that by the end of the astrological year, you will have stepped further into your power. I love you so much. Until next time, namaste.